What's good with you guys? Back at it again with another video here today. I want to go ahead and make this video, and I want to talk about something about growth. As a person that's been on this grind for so long now, I can most definitely say it's growth. Definitely for sure it's growth. Um, Shout out to FLS like always. Shout out to the Unlimited community for showing love. You know what time it is. But today, I kind of want to talk to you guys about growth and kind of with TikTok, for example. So with that being said, if you guys are new to this page, feel free to hit that subscribe button. I'm dropping 4 videos for you guys on Monday. Yes, sir, 4 videos. I'm not even playing around. I know a lot of people say, James, what made you want to drop 4 videos, bro? About the grind, man. Here's some of the background. This little machine. But I want to talk to you guys about growth. Growth is something I feel like a lot of men should come across. A lot of men should even do. Growth does not come easy. It does not happen overnight. It does not happen right away. There will be times in life where you feel like you want to give up. But us as people who we are, we cannot afford to give up in this life that we live in. And I'm going to say that again. In this world that we live in, we cannot afford to give up. As a person that is on semen retention, as a person that's on this fitness journey, I can't afford to give up. I can't afford to give up on anything, really. Because us as men, at the end of the day, why should we give up? If you are the type of person where you love fitness, keep going to the gym. Keep putting the work in. You never know where it's going to take you. And like as a person for myself that's been at fitness for years, and even when it comes to jobs, keep putting the work in. You may start off flipping burgers and now you're manager. At the end of the day, you got to put the work in when it comes to braces. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, a lot of people are going to try to get in the way of that. Your own friends will. It's rare to have real friends that's going to support you how you support them. And I'm just glad I got brothers. I don't have friends, I got brothers. At the end of the day, when I wanted to make this content, I always told myself, I was like, look, at the end of the day, I will never ever be a fan of nobody. And that's just how I feel. I'm not a fan of nobody, but I do get inspired by other people when I see them doing stuff that's inspirational. For example, when I see people lifting weights, when I see people doing a lot of stuff, I get motivated really quickly by that. And I get motivated by that because I see the grind and the hustle that they put in. Once I see the grind and the hustle that they put in, I just kept on going. But like I was saying, back to this video, just in general, right? Like in general, as a person that's on the grind, as a person that's just doing a bunch of stuff right now, I can't stop. I can't afford to quit. I can't afford to stop. This world that we live in is beautiful. I don't know if y'all could tell, but it's a beautiful world that we live in. At the end of the day, regardless, this is the first time making a video on my phone because I really don't use my phone for videos. I really be using my iPad. But like at the same time though, if we're gonna keep it 100, the grind don't stop. You know what I mean? The grind don't stop. The grind will never stop. And growth is a huge part of my life. As a person that used to, used to just flip burgers, went from flipping burgers from going working at Taco Bell to here I am now at a good job where I like being at. I got a good positioning. You know what I'm saying? The way the housekeeping area works is if you do a good job, they'll give you that position for good. So I earned a position for good. I'm not going to be moving around like I usually do, which in the day, that's a part of being a team player. Growth is something that I came across in my life, and I'm blessed every day. And as a person that's on this grind, my finger right there, my bad, but as a person that's on a grind, as a person that just doesn't really give up, I don't know how to give up. There was times in my life when my channel was stuck at 500 for the longest, 566. If you guys remember that in chat, comment down below. But I remember I was at 566 subscribers. I said, man, I want to hit this 800. Man, I want to hit this 900. What did I do? I kept on grinding. And as you keep on grinding with the growth, other content creators peep what you're doing. So, you know, when Miss Keep It Simple shot Tim Always, I know a lot of people say, why you always shout him out? I've been doing that since the jump. You guys remember my videos, I always been like, you know, shout to Miss Keep It Simple, shout to FLS, even that community. If you talk about communities, FLS is the best community because they will show support to you because you show support to them. And, you know, this journey that I've been on, this path that I've been on, even with my semen retention, that's growth right there, bro. You feel me? Like just being on semen retention, I could have easily got with any girl I wanted to. I'm gonna be honest, I could have. The body that I have, you know, and shout out to Miss Keep It Simple, he was like, your body's like an action figure. I'm like, I never thought about it like that. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know, just looking at my body the way it is, I take care of my body really well. Like I said yesterday, I could have easily bought some sweets and ate that up. But I didn't want to do that. That's growth right there as well. It's not just about financials of growth, but you and your mind. So, you know, most definitely, you know, I tell anybody at the end of the day, you know, when it comes to growth, you know, it's not going to happen overnight. If you're the type of person where you want to get in the gym, it's not going to happen overnight. You know, you got to prioritize the gym first before anything. Like even if I gotta go if I want to hang out with my homeboys, I gotta go to the gym early before I do that. I gotta get a workout session in. I don't ever stop grinding, especially when it comes down to it. I definitely most feel like when it comes down to it, as I repeat it again, when it comes down to the journey that we are in, you have to learn how to prioritize yourself first before anybody else. It comes to friends, family. You gotta prioritize yourself because once you start prioritizing yourself before anything, people are going to catch on to that. And once people catch on to that, they're going to want that type of formula. They're going to get motivated by that. And I just definitely feel like a lot of people been motivated by that. Even my friends group, like shout out to my friends that go to the gym. Like I always preach the gym because don't get me wrong, I like to go to kickbacks with my friends. I like to have fun. I like to enjoy the time. But when it comes back, when I get done having fun, when I get done going to, you know, the kickbacks, I go back to the gym and I go get straight to it. It's not bad to live life and have fun, but always be safe. If you like to drink once in a blue moon, be safe with it. That's for me example. I don't like to drink all the time, but I do it occasionally whenever, you know, it's a special occasion. But, you know, besides that point, you know, regardless, when it comes down to it, I say growth is everything. Back in the old days, I couldn't handle my drinking. You know, when I was young, I couldn't handle my drinking. I couldn't handle none of that. And it's like, you know, once I took a break and cut that out of my life, doors open up for me. And definitely, like, even when I'm at work, like, a lot of people look at me because, you know, women may find me attractive. Even, you know, guys gonna look at you. That's how it is. When you are, you know, not trying to put myself on a pedestal, but when you got a good looking body and you take care of your body, a lot of people ain't used to that. So when they see you popping out with a tank top, they're like, damn, I never seen this before. So, you know, most definitely, you know, I'm blessed every day to be in this position. And, you know, even when it comes to women, I show love from a distance. I'm going to say that again. I show love from a distance. Let me say, what do you mean by that, James? Bro, I don't want to have intercourse with women until I'm up with my content creation. Like, until I'm just going crazy with the content. We at 10,000, you know, I'm good financially. That's when I'll decide to do that. But till then, I don't feel like doing that. I don't feel like doing that right now. I don't feel like doing that right now because as a man, you should not be, and I'm going to say this again, growth. You should not be watching the hub. You should not be watching the hub, man. If you're watching the hub, it's bad. I know people that's older than me that still watch the hub, and that's crazy. You're losing your life force to the hub. And don't listen to, oh, you're going to get prostate, blah, 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 if you retain your seed. No, don't believe none of that. When you retain your seed, you're a more threat. And people can sense that. So they're going to try you. If so, people going to try to try even more when you're on, you know, semen retention. So most definitely always remember that people are going to try you when you're on semen retention. And when it comes to this growth, you really have to lock in with yourself and be better than you ever was. And this is a year to lock in. So y'all going to see like 4 videos every other day coming from me. I promise y'all. So told y'all we on that grind. Shout out to FLS. Shout out to the Unlimited community. Let's go. Peace.